Okay, Darth Wiz, here we are with another craptastic review. And what do you know? What do we got? An incredibly awesome figure that I would not sleep on. It's the 2001, came in a deluxe pack, AMANAMAN with Salacious Crumb, and you get his staff and you get the dead alien that goes with AMANAMAN. Now, the staff is a little, it's one of those kind of bendable plastics, which I don't think is necessarily a bad idea because when there's sort of a staff like this, when it's, kind of harder plastic, which would be better to sort of stand up, sometimes they can snap pretty easily, but whatever, you can always glue them. I'm just throwing that out there. Bendable weapons, it's nice when you have a harder plastic, generally speaking, I would think. But for a lot of you loose collector avocado experts out there, you can tell me why I'm wrong, or in the comments. Anyways, the 2001 option, from my understanding, is the only modern option they've done of AMANAMAN, unless somebody's done some customs out there, which I'm sure they have. I just didn't really think of researching it because I just thought about that right now. Anyways, so there's a couple options out there, not just the 2001, which is your best modern option, would be the 1984-85 Power of the Force 1. They came with the coin at the end of the Kenner Star Wars line. Obviously, AMANAMAN showed up in Jabba's palace. He's in the background there. You see him for, I don't know, a couple seconds there. I think he was on Jabba's sail barge. I'd have to rewatch Return of the Jedi. How accurate is this figure to the movie? I think it's pretty damn good. But again, I didn't take any stock images from Return of the Jedi to really compare. So I don't know if the height is exactly right. But I think this is probably your best modern option. And I think it's good enough, to be quite honest with you. And I don't know if Hasbro's really going to bother. I mean, they can make them. I don't see what's difficult about making a figure like this again, or literally the exact same one. Possibly he needed to be taller. I don't know. Again, people in the comments that know all the details about AMANAMAN and all the canon that's come after since then, whether it's accurate to the original canon or not, I have no idea. But anyway, so you got Power of the Force 84-85. Then the next option was this one, which is the Power of the Jedi, not Power of the Force, which started from 95 to 99. This figure, I believe the production date or release date was sometime in 2001. I remember seeing it and passing by it and thinking, I should have bought that figure. Anyways, I ended up buying it. So now I finally have it, and literally 24 years later, 2025 finally. And I was bidding on a bunch of actually the original Kenner ones, and I kept just losing on the bid because it's it's sort of a figure that keeps eluding me to get this bloody AMANAMAN, crazy. But anyways, that's one option. The other option, or that's two options. The third option, which is also a recent production, was Stan Solo, but they go for quite a bit, and they're basically they're like 95% exact to the original Kenner molds, or maybe 97%, some slight differences, so you can tell the difference. And then obviously marked SS somewhere on the figure, I don't know, but I bid on him too, and I kept losing on the Stan Solo version. So good lord. But Stan Solo is a great option. I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, I think Last 17 has made a version of this. I don't know. I'm sure guys like GQ Jedi could inform me on that, but obviously a Google search. But anyways, a great figure. My buddy Lax Sivrak actually has this one. I was just like, oh damn, you got an AMANAMAN. That's an amazing figure. 2001 Power of the Jedi version in the mothership there on his wall, his infamous wall there. But great figure. I think this checks the box. Anyway, so you can kind of pivot it like that. I mean, I had it just standing like that, then I kind of just wedged that the alien right there in there. You could probably move the arm down to give some more support. It's on my this, whatever the hell this disc thing is called here that turns around, but I didn't bother plugging it in. Just going really slow. So it's got some strength there to a certain extent, but it's a real pain. You really want to make sure that shoots straight down, and then you just really got to turn it right way. But anyways, here's the back of the back side of AMANAMAN. There he is. Great figure. Some sort of reptilian snake frog. I don't know what the heck he is, but I don't know if he's a really bad guy or not. But then again, he's got a dead humanoid. I think that's supposed to be a human, but these aliens are definitely their elongated heads or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, those are not human skulls there, so those are definitely alien heads. But he probably kills them, and he probably eats them. I think he's a bounty hunter. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know some guys would know. Anyway, shout out to my buddy Tim Hayes there, and Mike Poirier, and so many others of you guys out there, and Mark Russell. This is a great figure, great option to stick in your Jabba's palace if you got it, or you know, there's so many different versions out there, or you can just build one yourself, whatever floats your boat. So go out there, power the Jedi. I would not sleep on these figures. That's actually a great line, some great figures in there. There's at least 4 or 5 more of them that I need to pick up over the next year or two, or whenever I see them. But definitely need to get that Porkins figure. That one's kind of eluding me too. I've been meaning to pick it up, and sometimes I see it, and it's just, or it's just that for sale, and just like, yeah, do I want to spend an extra 20 bucks on shipping? No. So I definitely got to do some pickup hauls this summer and kind of pick off a lot of these Power of the Jedi Saga Collection, Trilogy Saga, you know, Legacy, 30th Anniversary, the Heroes line. I need to pick up that Luke Snowspeeder figure. That's a great figure. You know, so as much as we complain about Hasbro, like, they produce quite a bit of stuff out there that you can fill out your scenes with and pop off a head and put a modern head on there, and voila, good enough. Checks the box. And you know, how far are you really going to go? I know a lot of big channels are always pushing the whole, you know, we always need an update, everything needs to be definitive. Well, you know, that's what that word kind of became into things when they launched the Black Series. You know, it's supposed to be the most definitive thing. Well, it never was. It's just, you know, economics and production of getting these figures down and mistakes that are made. You know, it's you're always going to have customization, I think. But, you know, that being said, I mean, look, we got hundreds upon hundreds of characters that are out there. You just got to look through these lines and you can fill it out. And that's the beautiful history I think everyone's missing about Star Wars in general. You know, I see a lot of hardcore Kenner collectors. Believe me, I'm one of them too. But, you know, as kids, you know, I noticed it's kind of a later demographic, but some of the earlier, you know, guys that when we started off, we grew up with the original Kenner stuff. I mean, we dreamed about getting better versions of a Han Solo, a Stormtrooper, maybe not necessarily a Man-to-Man at the time, but a better Rancor, more realism. You know, that was a big part of it, right? At least it was with me and a lot of people, a lot of friends that I knew, you know, and you could see that as the later 80s, as action figures kept advancing, right? So I think, anyways, it's a wonderful world of Star Wars. I'm rambling. This video is already 3 or 4 minutes too long. Get to the point, Wiz. There it is. Try and give you some nice close-up, final close-ups. A beautiful, beautiful figure. Go out there and start collecting. There's a lot of gems out there, and some of these are pretty inexpensive. You can do it. Cheers.